artist, and I've been teaching for over 50 years, teaching children and teaching adults, and I really enjoy the teaching. And I paint everything that I see. If you're wondering where I get my inspiration, we travel. We travel all over the world. Also, I come from New York, and New York is an interesting place to paint. It's very colorful. Buildings, the traffic, the cabs, the people. And now, get your palette, get your brushes, and let's get started. I'm Judy Wengrovitz. I'm an artist, and I live in Fairfax County, Virginia. Today, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Maine. I wish I was. And I'm going to start doing a painting of fog, because when you're in Maine, you turn around and all of a sudden, the scene has disappeared. So watch me and see if we see a scene. I'm wetting my paper. We're going to go paint on a wet surface. Probably getting my paper wet, almost half the paper. I'm using a combination. Oh, I have a drip here, but I sort of like it. I'm going to save it carefully. My favorite colors. Didn't take my biggest brush. I took a square brush, and I could use this. As long as the paper is wet, I was able to put the color on very quickly. I'm going to change my brush now. I'm going to use a pointy brush. I'm removing some paint here. I might use some white paint, actually, to color those boats. pretty much using the same colors. Well, I got a little green here. Actually, I might use it. I have a little bit of mist coming across. I'm going to make a little bit more mist. Painting the reflection of the background. Using my, I got a little white paint here. So let's work on this little boat here. Let me get this a little darker. Okay, let's put the mist back in. And I'm going to I have a little bit of white paint, which is, I'm using designer's gouache. This is a wet surface, so the gouache is getting a little bit lighter than I'd like it, so I might wait till it's not bad. I'll wait till it dries, go back over it again. Right now, let's go ahead and work on the trees, on these pine trees here. I'm using my square brush again with some Hooker's Green and Burnt Sienna, Ultramarine. I can use the square brush. Actually, my square brush is splitting, and so I might use that. Well, I put some more water on so it's even. Now I'm going to try something else. I'm not sure if I like this color yet. Let's try something else here. This time I'm going to have a different kind of tree, and I'm using a sponge. Even though this is a foggy day, some of the colors are coming out a little brighter because they're closer to me. Maybe the sunlight has hit those colors. Sneak a little grass in here. what I'm doing here is I'm taking my brush and sort of wiggling it. And I like that color, so I'm going to use that color down here to make some rocks. Keep looking at the reflection of those trees. The color bothers me, so let's get some more. Let's get a little bit of white paint on those boats. Okay, I think I'm going to get some more texture in that bush. I might have to do that sky again because I think it's, well, let me see. It sort of disappeared. Doesn't look too foggy, just a little foggy. I have a smaller brush. I've only used 3 brushes on this painting now, and actually that's enough. Okay, I'm going to try this sky, although I'm a little afraid. Okay. Here goes. Oh, wow. Yeah, I knew. Okay. Well, believe it or not, that was an accident, and and I sort of liked it, but I don't know if I like this one here. A little bit more color than before. I'm going to show you another brush now. I said I had only 3, but this is a little scrub brush. And let's see if that works. Another piece of paper towel. It's supposed to scrub. It's taking off some of the painting. Actually, green is a funny color because green stains the paper. Sometimes it doesn't come off. You can hear it scrubbing. Okay, so now we're going to do something different. And if you haven't seen this, I'm going to try something with a razor blade. This is a little, it works. A little dark. Moment, I'm going to show you some of the details of how to paint those rocks. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you the details of how to paint those rocks. I'm going to take a break and I'll be right back.
This is Zoe. She's 1, and she's running for president, potentially in 2064. Because if she's kept safe and eats well, has the opportunity to learn and grow, if she has help getting ahead and support along the way, then Zoe could be president. Like her hero, Ababam Binken. Help kids like Zoe dream big. The why, for early learning, childcare, mentorship, and more. For a better us. Donate to the why at zoeforpresident.net.
I went back to my studio, studied my painting, and decided I needed some more on some of my paintings. I'm going to start in by adding some more color to my mountains. So watch closely. Okay, I sketched my mountain very lightly in pencil. Actually made it different sizes and decided this would be good. So the first thing I'm going to do is to just wet it with clear water. This mountain has got to be in fog, so I have to be a little careful as to what color. Now, let's see. It's a little wet, and I'm going to do a light blue. I think I might add a little green to it, very lightly. I'm trying ultramarine blue, and maybe, oh, it's not too bad. It's a little blue. Got to put a little green in it. Yeah, just a drop of green. I'm going to erase that pencil line eventually. I'm mixing my green and blue together. So I have sort of a greenish, oh, I might make it a little darker. I'm using ultramarine blue and sort of a hooker's green. And I want to make it dark enough. Oh, that's not too bad. But there's a mountain in front of it. Well, let's come down to the mountain in front of it. Make that a little darker. Let's see. This is very delicate because pretty green. Well, now I want to do different things to it. I think I'll make the mountain in front darker. Here's a drip. Watch me lift this drip. Have my brush in hand. Just take it, it's pretty dry. I'll dry it off more. Run it along. There goes the drip. Now, I'm thinking I might do some fog. So what I'm using is just a plain piece of paper towel, which I'm wadding up. And I don't know, yeah, it might work. I'll lift it off gently. So there's a mist at the bottom of this mountain. I will show you some other things to lift it up. This brush probably does better on dry surfaces. And this is called a scrub brush. And actually, it scrubs. So let's go ahead and, oh, that does work very nicely. Yeah, the scrub brush. And I have this scrub brush, actually, in 3 different sizes. It comes in more than 3, actually. One of them is very tiny, and the tiny one is good for probably scrubbing off close to land. And I'm trying to think, I might leave that mountain alone. I'm going to put another little mountain in front of it. And I'm mixing up, let's see if, get a little mountain in front of it. Okay, now I'm going to come between these trees. And I can use another tree. I see I've sketched another tree, so why don't I paint it? I have a paper towel here to dry off my brush. So here's a little ultramarine blue, and I'm using a little crimson. That might still be too light. So let's use a little bit more. Oh boy, I have a lot more. Let's see what this shows. It's not bad. And the reason I made it this color is because I wanted to make it in the distance. And so in the distance, it has a tendency to look bluer And of course, since I said I wanted to make it into fog, I'm putting it further back. All right? So let's see. I don't think I'll touch this. Now comes the fun. I think I'm going to work on my rocks. Now, I have a little break here, so let me put a little rock there. And I'm going to leave this as a beach. And I'm taking a little, this time I'm using all my brushes. This time I'm using a pointy brush, and it has burnt sienna. Well, not dark enough. Well, not bad. I'm going to lay some color down, and I've laid them down already as an underpainting for my rocks. So now I'm going to do something a little tricky. I'm going to make some of those rocks a little darker. I'm mixing together ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. Okay, now I'm going to show you something else. Let's see how dark this is. Could be a little darker. In order for me to get it darker, I'm just going to add more ultramarine and more burnt sienna. Comes out a different color each time. And I put, actually I sort of like it this way, but I was going to show you how to use the razor blade. I think I'll use the razor blade someplace else. I maybe use it over here because that's a great big rock. So we're going to put the two colors down there again. Yeah. Oh boy. No, let's hope this is not too dark. But if it's too dark, it gives me an opportunity to remove the color. Now, I'm using this kind of razor blade. I'm going to use it quickly, because if I don't, this is going to dry up. And I'm pressing very hard on that. Oops. And let's see. I want to wash it all off. Okay, I think I'll make a matching rock right next to it. I put color down first. I put light color down first. Now I'm putting dark color, and all I'm doing is actually scraping off the dark color. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Should I put a rock at the top? I think I will. But, by the way, in order to get this, you can go to perhaps a hardware store. I've also used this, an ordinary double edge razor blade, but I really like this. The stiffness gives me a handle on how much to press down. I'm going to put another rock up here. Still mixing those two colors together. Let's put it here. Oh, I have something else to do here, which I hope I can show you. And let me scrape this rock off first so I don't lose it. And this is not scraping off as well, but I can always draw something. And I'm going to show you something else too. talk about how to remove painting, and here is one of my favorite brushes, which I have a long time. It has a beveled edge, and let me work fast. Oh, well, it doesn't work as well. Just a little bit. What I wanted, well, you could see, let's see, you could see a little bit scraped off. But this had a lot of color on it, so it didn't take it off. But I may be able to put some dark color over here. Let's see what that happens. Again, I think I'm using Hooker's green. Let me mix it up a little bit here. Now this might not work. Well, let's try it. Yeah, it works. You have to be a little close to it. What I'm doing is scraping off some of the color. Speaking of scraping off some of the color, my bush needs a little bit more work up there. So what I'm going to do is to take my sponge, dip it into the water, and believe it or not, use Hooker's green, and let's try it out and see what it looks like. Yeah, I don't want to put the darks all over. I just want to put them in a few places. And I'm using, at this point, just an old sponge. The kitchen sponges that you have are sort of hard to control because they're sort of fixed in place and they're square. And at this point, I'm going to try something else since I'm showing you things. I want to put some branches, but I'm putting it on with a different brush, one that I haven't really used before. And if you see what it looks like, it's long hair, and it's called a rigger. So I'm going to give this bush some twigs. What color am I using? You guessed it. Ultramarine blue. And gives me sort of a blackish color. Here goes. It works pretty nice. Yeah, works nice. You have to get a little bit more water on because it's so narrow and pointy. Maybe we'll come right across here. Yep, that's not bad. Now what should I do over here? I don't feel like, I think I'll probably make some more grass. I could make another rock, but I think it might be too much. So I think I'll make some more grass. But this time, I'm gonna put a little bit more yellow into it. I'm gonna use my sponge, try and see what it looks like. See if I like it. And I'm going to use some, I'm using some yellow. Yellow, a little green. Oh, pretty nice. Yeah, it gives it another color. Yeah. Put a little green in it. One thing about these sponges, if you want to do a fast painting, you just use a sponge and 1, 2, 3, you finished. I see a rock that I painted before but didn't finish. Here it is. Okay. All right, so what else can I do? Well, I know what else I can do. I have to work on my little boat. And I have to put in part of the boat because the boat is sailing, but it doesn't have a cabin. So let's get a cabin here. Cabin, and let's put a pole. Is it a crooked pole? We'll do a little bit reflection of that pole and the little ropes. Yeah. And let's separate the windows. There's a little boat over there. And let's see, can I work on this a little bit more? I could finish the painting right now if I use my quick sponge. Let's oops. I think I will put some weeds in. I'm going to use another brush. See this brush? Very sharp edge here. All right, let's see if it works. I'm using the side now of my brush, the flat edge. Oh, and something new just happened, which is very nice, and will help, maybe. This, look what happened. The hairs spread apart over here. So I'm going to I want to fix one. I hate to tell you, but I got to fix this one place here. I've done a lot of rocks, I know. And you may not have seen them, but I just had to do something here. Oh. I might just go in between here. Okay, let's go here. Outline it and put a little bit of, spread the hairs. Let's see if this is going to work right now. If I wiggle my brush, spread the hairs, let's see. Okay. I hope I finished my painting. I went back, I added a little bit more fog on my mountain, and I would like someday for you to try this. Just be patient. Thanks a lot for coming to my program. I'll see you. Bye. Oh, my webpage is judyswatercolors.com. Please come and see it.